written down the words to say. It is time. I've been waiting 5 days.
Reverse. No. Reverse. I recently had a can of Monster, right? And I used to drink a can of Monster, like, at one point in my life I was drinking a can of Monster pretty much every single day, which is crazy because that shit sends me to the moon. Although it probably didn't back then because I was like more immune to it, whereas now I only have one if I feel like I absolutely need one. Now when I have one, it works. I had one a couple hours ago because I was so tired. I actually went to bed quite late last night and then I got up early, well early-ish for a Sunday. I got up at like 7:30 and me and Neve went a run. We ran 7k. I've not been running at all lately because I've been away, yada yada. So I'm proud of myself for going. Also my period started today so I have cramp. So I'm extra proud of myself for going. Big pat on the back. But by the time I got back and then I went to see my mum and dad and then I cleaned the flat, I was like, oh, I'm so tired. And it was only midday so I got a Monster. Hey, no regrets. I feel like I have so much energy. It's 6:10 in the evening on a Sunday night and I feel like the world is truly my oyster. So I thought I'd use this opportunity to film a video, a chit chat video. I've not done a chatty video in so long. It's just been lots of vlogs which are fun, but balance is the joy of life. Is that a quote? Balance is the secret of life. Balance. A balanced life is a happy life. Happy wife, happy life. Currently driving to get a matcha. I did want to go and get a blank street, but the only 2 locations that Blank Street is in Glasgow, sorry, God, I've said that like it's a negative thing. Glasgow's so lucky to now have 2 blank streets, but the locations that they're in, it's just like quite busy. Like it's city centre vibes, West End vibes, getting parked and all that is a nightmare. I just kind of wanted, for the purpose of this video, a drive through. So it's going to need to be a Starbucks. Oh wait, what exit is it? Shit, I've just missed the exit. That's the thing with the motorway, when you miss the exit, it's game over. I don't think it's game over. I think we can recover from this mistake, actually. Pushing on my buttons, I'm hesitating. See with maps, when I speak to him, I have to speak in an English accent. If I speak in my normal accent, he's not a clue what I say, look.
Where would you like to go?
Starbucks, Linwood.
One possibility I see is Starbucks on 196th Street Southwest in Linwood, about 4,427 miles to your west, and it gets 2 stars on Yelp. Is that the one you want?
Probably going to say no to that one city just with the fact it's 4,000 miles away.
Where would you like to go?
Starbucks, Linwood.
One option I see is Starbucks on 196th Street Southwest in Linwood, about 4,427 miles to your west, and it
Never mind. Nah, I'm royally lost, actually. I did pop up a wee question box in case anyone wanted to ask any specific questions, but to be honest, there's just stuff I want to discuss. There's just life things that I actually just want to talk about with you and fill you in on. So I will answer the questions in amongst those life chats, life topics anyway. There's the police. Why is it whenever the police pass, oh you're kidding me, I think I missed my turn. Whenever the police pass me, I'm like, that's it, they're coming for me. It's my time. I've been caught. Like why would the police be after me? I've not done anything. I don't do anything. Well, where on earth am I? How can I possibly yawn him when I've had that Monster? I should be awake for at least 3 to 5 business days now. Can I please have an iced matcha with almond milk and strawberry, please? No, that's all, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi! How are you?
I'm good, how are you? I didn't know this was the one you worked at.
How are you?
I'm good, honey.
Oh,
I like your tooth gem.
thank you.
Twins.
Let me see. Oh, I love.
I was in Marrakesh.
I know, I saw it. Look,
Yeah, it was good.
The slow zoom out video. Oh, that
Oh,
was
thanks so
good.
much.
How's boyfriend?
He's good.
I know, Nadine was very relieved we're not moving to Manchester.
Yes.
Oh
I'm actually vlogging for YouTube right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, hi YouTube. Have a good one.
Thanks, Georgia. Bye. Nadine's wee sister is honestly one of the funniest humans I have ever came across. Here we go. Right, we have here my usual, which is iced matcha latte with almond milk and strawberry mixy mix. Right, life updates. So, I finally started therapy. That's something I have wanted to do, and I've spoken... Wait, let me put this earring back in. That will annoy me when I'm editing it. I've got one earring in, one earring out. I have spoke about it on here so much, how I have wanted to start therapy for the longest time. The reason I put it off, I mean, well, obviously therapy, if you're doing it privately, which I am, it is expensive, I'm not going to lie. Definitely the cost aspect being part of it. But I think probably even more than that, I kept putting it off because I was nervous and like scared to like unpack certain things. Like I knew I would need to revisit things that maybe happened throughout my life in order to like come out the other side, I suppose. And that felt like such a daunting task to me. Like I was like, I feel scared about sitting down with this stranger and telling her like all this stuff about my life and revisiting certain things and being upset over certain things again. Like that just felt like a really big scary thing for me to do. So I always thought like, yeah, I'll get around to it at some point, but not right now. I don't want to face that right now. This year, for whatever reason, like I don't really know why as such, but for whatever reason I just was progressively getting worse in a sense where I was becoming anxious every day, like pretty much every single day of my life. Got to the point where it was actually like ruining certain things for me. Like when I was in Dubai with Aquarius, I was just in such a weird headspace that like I pretty much ruined that trip for myself, and it's so sad. And like it's hard to talk about because if any outsider looking in would probably be like, shut the fuck up, you were literally in Dubai on a work trip. Like, and I'm not in any way moaning, it's nobody's fault bar my own. Like I was just in such a weird space that I couldn't even fully enjoy that trip the way I normally would. Like I love going on Aquarius trips and I have the best time, but I was just in such a weird headspace where I wasn't my usual self, put it that way. And by that point I was already like on the waiting list to start with my current therapist, but that was definitely like when I was in Dubai, I was like, I knew that 100% it is the right thing for me to be starting therapy now, like before things get any worse. Since starting therapy, so I've actually only had 3 sessions, which I find quite hard to believe because I feel like my therapist has always been in my life now, to be honest. I've had 3, I've got my 4th on Tuesday coming, and the first 2 I was probably a bit like, don't get me wrong, it was such like, it was actually really relieving. Like the first session, within about 10 minutes I was in tears. Like I thought the first session would be a bit like beating around the bush, like just kind of skimming over things, but we actually did get right into things right away, and I was like crying my eyes out at one point, but it didn't feel strange. I didn't feel like, oh, this is weird, like me telling a stranger all this stuff, me getting upset in front of a stranger. It didn't feel weird one bit. I mean, obviously she's literally a trained professional, so she definitely does know how to handle it, and I just felt really calm and at ease. And like when I left, I actually did feel like a bit of a weight off my shoulders. I was like, oh, it's actually quite nice to like let that out. Also, to let that out to someone you don't actually know. Like I could 100% go to my friends and family if I needed to for like a good cry, or you know, a heart to heart or a deep chat. Like 100%, I'm so lucky to have that option. But there's something really nice about talking to someone who doesn't know anything about your life, has really like unbiased opinions, and is there just to understand like your feelings and your thoughts, not necessarily like actual facts, if that makes sense. But in the first 2 sessions I thought like, okay, this is nice to get stuff off my chest, but I probably didn't understand how does this work, like how am I actually then going to end up feeling better. But in my 3rd session, what we spoke about then, I actually started to like learn things, and like she'll give me away like homework kind of like tell me to go up and read on certain things, or she'll send me certain documents and stuff for me to fill out and stuff like that. And actually now I'm like, wait a minute, I'm learning stuff here. Like I feel like I'm actually learning like okay, this is how, like I can identify certain behaviour when I'm like feeling a certain way and be like, oh, this is that, and that's not real, so I can actually change that. It's hard to explain. I'm probably sounding like I'm talking absolute gobbledygook here, and that monster certainly didn't help, but I do actually now, what I'm trying to say is I now feel like I know why people go to therapy. I'm like, oh, this makes sense, and I can so feel that like with every session I go to, I'm going to learn something new that is going to change how I feel. Like I actually already feel in a better place than I did 3 weeks ago, which is unreal. Like, how fast is that? So I'm loving therapy so much. I'm so excited. I don't know how long I'll have my therapist for. I've not asked anything like that, and she could probably only give like a rough guideline, but honestly I hope it's for a while because I really like it. Someone asked if there's any updates on the endometriosis front. Honestly, no. It's a bit of a difficult one. Like, anyone I have spoken to who is in a similar position, or also since finding out this potential info, I have watched loads of different YouTube videos, like just to get more of an insight and suppose to like prepare myself of maybe what is ahead. And the common theme throughout all of the videos I've watched or the people I've spoke to is that getting diagnosed with endometriosis and dealing with it through the NHS is a bit of a ball ache. Not that we have balls, we have endometriosis, but it's a slow process. I mean, that's not a surprise to me. As I've said before, I first went to the doctors about my periods. I knew my periods weren't right literally since the age of 15. I had been back and forth, and I eventually gave up going to the doctors because every time I'd go, I'd get the same response. It was, yeah, but periods are meant to hurt. Have you tried taking painkillers? Yeah, funnily enough, I have tried to do paracetamol when I'm doubled over in pain and can't get out of bed and can't go to school or work. I have thought of trying the old 2 paracetamol, but it was always the same and it just was never taken seriously. So it did get to the point where I actually believed that, okay, maybe I'm just a drama queen and periods are meant to be this sore. And it wasn't until I got a new doctor who was female, just saying, and I was speaking to her about something totally different, and she ended up asking about my periods and stuff, and then I was like, yeah, I had bad ones, but it's probably normal, I'm probably just a drama queen, blah, 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 blah. And this was literally just a few months ago, and she sent me for, referred me for an ultrasound internally, and that itself, getting that appointment took a couple of months. Got the appointment, and then that's when I got the phone call to say we can see what we suspect is endometriosis and like a cyst, which is also endometriosis. I don't really get that bit, but anyway, the next step is I need to be seen by a specialist gynecologist to see like how severe it is, what kind of surgery I would need, X, Y, and Z. But in the meantime, I have been advised to get the implant or the coil, because with every period I have, this cyst grows, we think. So with that in mind, I have decided to get the implant. I don't particularly want to be on contraception. I've not been on contraception for years. When I was younger, I used to be on, is it Rigivon, I think it's called? The little pink packet that like everyone was on. And I actually really liked it. Like, I took it for 3 weeks, you had your week break, and I got my period, and I found that it really helped my periods. Like, they were much lighter, they were less painful. I got a set of boobs, which disappeared unfortunately when I stopped taking the pill. I just enjoyed the pill. It didn't have any bad side effects on me that I can remember. But I got taken off that pill because I started to experience migraines. Like, I get quite bad migraines. Touch wood, not often, but when I get them, I get them. I can't see, it's obviously excruciating pain, it makes me sick, they're honestly horrific, wouldn't wish them upon anyone. But because of my migraines, I can't be on a lot of contraceptions. There's only like there's only like a handful of contraception I can be on, and the mini pill was one of them, and that's when you just take it all the time and you don't stop. And you know, not having a period is fun, I suppose, but that made me a moody bitch, a crazy moody bitch. Yeah, I literally wasn't me when I was on it. It's weird, you know that advert? It's like, you're not you when you're hungry, get a Snickers. That was me on that mini pill. So I came off that and I was like, do you know what, I'm over contraception. I'm just going to do things the safe old way and not put anything in my body. And I have been quite happy doing that for the past however long. So going on contraception does freak me out, and it's not something I particularly want to do, but obviously this is like medically advised, and I need to stop this cyst from growing, because the bigger the cyst gets, the more complications that will lead to with like fertility and just like general health in that region. So I have been trying to get an appointment to get this implant for months now. Like ever since that endometriosis phone call, which was at least 2 months ago, I've been trying to get an appointment. So the only way for me to get an appointment is to keep checking online. And I would be lying if I said I checked it every day, because I'm not being funny, but who has the time to check that every day? Who has the brain capacity to remember to check that every single day? So I check it every other day, right? Like I definitely check it at least 3 times a week. Finally, on like 2 days ago, finally I checked and an appointment came up that day. So I was like, oh my god, finally here's an appointment. I've been on the phone to the doctors several times in between now saying I can't get this, I'm really stressed, I'm really worried, I've had 3 periods since then, the cyst's obviously growing. I actually ended up having to go to out of hours, like at the hospital one night, because I thought it was about to rupture because I was in so much pain. So getting this appointment has been like really important to me, and it's something I've been really stressed about. So finally get this appointment. It was at 2:30 in the afternoon, booked it, put in my details, and it came up like a confirmation saying your appointment's at 2:30, blah 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 blah, here's the address, whatever. But I did notice I didn't get a text or an email, which I thought was a bit strange, but I was like, the confirmation's there, like, whatever. So I go to the appointment, drive to the appointment, change my whole day to fit this appointment, which is fine, obviously, like, we all need to do that. So I get there, and I get nervous, like, going to that place, like it's like the sexual health place, which you shouldn't be. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking care of your sexual health, but I just feel a bit nervous being there. It's just like a bit awkward, I guess. So I go in and I'm like scared I'm about to get my arm slit open to get this rod put in it, and I just feel awkward about being there anyway. And I go in and the woman's like, sorry, like we don't have you down as an appointment. She said basically if I've been on booking that appointment and someone else has been booking that appointment and we both pressed it at the same time, we both would have got that confirmation, but whoever was there like seconds in front would have then got the text and email to say that they've got the appointment. So I didn't get the appointment, and there's no other appointments, so I still don't have an appointment. And I just, at that moment, I got so upset because I was like, oh, this is so frustrating. Like I have been told really important news regarding my woman health, and I just feel like no one can help me with it. And I'm not saying it's the receptionist's fault, it's absolutely genuinely not. But I'm just like, how when I have been told by my doctor that I should most definitely get something that's going to stop my periods in order to not cause me major complications further down the line, how can I not access that? Like that's the bit I just can't wrap my head around. Anyway, we're no further forward. The gynaecologist appointment, like the specialist appointment I'm waiting on, is a rough 6-month waiting list. So I'm not even halfway there yet. But yeah, I guess we'll just need to see what happens. But whenever I do finally get the implant, I'll obviously update you all on how that is. I'm very nervous about the thought of having hormones like actually in my skin. Like taking the pill is one thing, you can just stop taking that, but I'm like, if I want that out, I need to go and have it out. And I mean, this is how long it takes to get it in, so how long will it take to get it out? Anyway, we'll deal with that when we get there. But it would be nice to not have a period. That is the silver lining. If it even works that way, because some people can bleed every day with it. Minefield. Oh, some people have asked about roller coasting podcasts while they're being on our live show. So, I mean, I really need to make a video for the roller coaster Instagram. It's terrible I've not done that yet. But roller coasting is finito. She's gone. She's been gone a while. And it is sad. Like, my mum actually asked me today, she was like, do you miss your podcast? And I was like, I mean, I don't miss it in the sense, like, I don't miss doing it because I know that it came to its end. But I do miss podcasting. Like, I do miss sitting down and chatting every week. Like this. Like, this is fun. Like, I like to sit and talk. So I definitely do miss doing a podcast, but I know that roller coasting naturally reached its end. Like, to sit down yourself every single week and think of a new topic to speak in depth, it is actually harder than it might seem. Even for someone who can talk the back legs off the donkey. Me and Scotty T. Was it Scotty T who said that? It just got hard, and I feel like when it started to get difficult is when I started to like almost check out. Like every week I'd be like almost dreading it. Dreading's a big word, but I'd be a bit like, I'd be freaking out over it more than I would be excited about it. And it was always just a hobby for me. Like,
that is why I done it, because I was passionate about it. I loved it. I looked forward to it. It was just sheer fun and enjoyment. So when it started to become something that I was like stressed about and I was like scrambling for ideas, I was like, I'm not too sure why I'm doing this anymore. And I don't know if other people would pick up on it, but I certainly did, because obviously I know myself. But towards the end as well, if I like watched or listened back, I'd be like, I feel like I can tell in my voice and in my face that like I'm not in it anymore. Like I can tell that my brain's like scrambling for the next thing to talk about instead of it just like flowing really naturally. And I don't want to put out something that like I don't truly believe in, because if I don't, then who else will? So it did just naturally come to an end, and that is sad because it was like such a fun thing and I'm so proud of it. But I can also look at it and be like, I am proud of that, and that was great while it lasted. Like it's all still there, like I can go back and listen to it. New people could come across it and listen to it from start to finish if they wanted. Like it's not like it's just disappeared, it's not continuing on anymore. That being said, I don't want it to be the end. Oh no, there's people parked right across from me. I look like a crazy person. Of all the spaces that are available, it had to be there. That being said, I don't think it will be the end of podcasting for me ever. I don't currently have plans, but I would love to pick up podcasting again. I don't think it's something I could do myself again, or else I wouldn't have ended roller coasting. I think a good podcast for me personally would be with someone else that I can bounce off of, and you know, it's just more natural. So yeah, we'll see about that. These people just got out of their car and started kicking it. I'm confused. Oh, sorry, they're now kicking a ball. They did kick the car, but now they're kicking a ball. Surely they're not going to play with the ball in the car park, no? Most of the questions are about Manchester, and I would say at the moment that is definitely like my most asked type of questions. You know, people are wondering like, what's the long-term plans of me and Callum? Would I move to Manchester? Do I prefer Manchester to Glasgow? So I do in fact have a bit of a story with that one. So when I first started going out with Callum, I had never ever seen myself, rewind before I first started seeing Callum. Being in a long distance relationship was not on my bingo cards, right? Like that is not something I ever seen for myself. I mean, I don't think people set out to do that anyway, but that was always something that I was categorically like not even going to entertain. Sorry? That was something I categorically wasn't even going to entertain. Like, I live in Glasgow, right? Someone who lives in Edinburgh, which is like another big city in Scotland, I'm sure most people know that. But hey, I'm really bad at geography, so don't judge if you don't know what Edinburgh is. That's like 50 minutes from here, an hour from here. Even that, I'd be like, nah, sorry, too far. That's annoying. I'm sure I can find someone in a nearby radius to see and be with. So when Callum and I started talking, I think I probably just thought like this will just be a bit of like chit chat, DMs. Like I didn't expect it to turn into anything, so therefore I wasn't really considering he lives in Manchester. Why am I talking about how we met? Anyway, we're wrong with it. Then when we did go on dates, he did come here, so that was a bit like our first 2 dates he came here. So I was like, yeah, like I've not went anywhere, it doesn't seem like serious or whatever. And then we started getting more serious, and obviously I was going to Manchester back and forth. So I said in the very early days, look, just to let you know, heads up, I will never move to Manchester. Like, I will never even leave Glasgow. Like, I love where I live so much. I love my life there. I have no complaints. I do not have the itch to move. The only time I have ever wanted to move is when I was literally 8 years old and told everyone that I was moving to California. I got a California mural on my bedroom wall, and I was convinced I was moving there. Fast forward a few years, that plan was out the window. I was not moving to California. I think when I realised I couldn't sing and I was never going to be scouted by Disney Channel, I was quite happy just to stay in Glasgow, to be honest. I have never, categorically never, ever even considered moving away. Like, I am a homebody to the core. So I said that to him. I was like, don't even get any ideas. Don't pitch it to me. It ain't happening. And he was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I won't. And he never did. Ever. then we'd been seeing each other for like a few months, whatever, started going out. And then in the new year, so like just at the beginning of this year, something like started to come over me. Like I would go to Manchester to visit him and I would be like, subconsciously, I didn't tell this to anyone for so long because I was so scared to like upset anyone or put an idea in anyone's head. But I started to be there and be like, do I want to move here? Like I'd be at a Barry's class, I'd be like, I think I want to move here. I can't explain it. It just started to like creep into my mind where I was like, I think I want to move here. So me and Callum were having a conversation and I can't even remember how it came up, but he said something like, oh, like selfishly I wish you would just move to Manchester or something like that, and I didn't shut it down. So he was like, how come you didn't shut that down? And I was like, So he was like, wait, what? And I was like, now I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I'd be lying if I said it hasn't crossed my mind. And he was like, what? Like genuinely so taken aback because I was so sworn off ever even entertaining that thought. So we're like, right, let's just sit on it for a minute. Like, this isn't me saying I'm going to move. This isn't me saying I definitely want to move. It's just a thought that has entered my mind that I didn't expect to enter my mind. So sat on it for a while. And then I was like, right, I actually think I'd really want to do this. So we started to actually look at flats. Like I thought, let's just go see some flats to see, would I be able to find one that I like for us? Would I be able to afford it? Like, let's just scope it out. No harm in looking. So we did. We actually looked at loads of flats. At this point, I think I have seen every single flat in Manchester. We looked at loads and loads and loads. And I obviously have a very unique, shall we say, taste in home decor. And a lot of these flats, as gorgeous as they are, they're all very new and like modern. So it's all just like white walls and grey carpets. And if there's one colour in the world I hate, it is grey. I hate grey so much. No offence, I know grey is a very universal, well-loved colour, but for me, I absolutely despise it. And I cannot move into somewhere with grey carpets. As princess-like as that may sound, fine, sue me. I am not paying these rental prices, which are through the roof by the way, to live somewhere for grey carpet. I just can't do it. It's just who I am. So we looked and looked and I kept saying like, sorry, I'm not moving into a grey carpet. I think Callum was definitely like, no, I know Callum was like, what the fuck, that is so bizarre. But anyway, we eventually found somewhere that I was like, wait, I love this. It was like industrial and like the wall was like exposed brick and it had like all the sort of pipes that were visible like on the ceiling and stuff, and like the sort of complex it was in was really cool. There was like loads to do. It just was a really nice vibe. So I was like, oh, I think I love this. Then before we found that one in amongst the flat viewings, obviously I was like, right, it's time for me to break the news to my friends, which I felt ill about. Like, I can't tell you how anxious this made me. Like, probably should mention that's my therapist, but anyway, it honestly was like tearing me apart because I just knew that my friends wouldn't take this well, in particular Nadine. Because Nadine, how funny is this? Nadine said to me, when I was single, before I even met Callum, she said to me, I'm worried you'll meet someone. This is weird actually now that I think about it. She was like, I'm worried you'll meet someone in Manchester, move. And I at the time was like, I promise you I will never do that, because I was so convinced I never ever would. Like, it wasn't something I wanted to do. So when I was like, shit, I can't believe that I actually need to tell Nadine I'm going to do this, like, I'm breaking the promise. So anyway, finally told my friends, my family, Nadine. Nadine didn't take it very well. To be honest, neither did I. Like, it was very, very sad. And I had this immense guilt, like, over me. Like, I felt so bad for, like, anyone that I was leaving behind. I mean, I would literally be 3 hours away. But anyway, I felt so awful about it. But I was also, like, excited. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so fun. And I think the thing is, obviously, for me and Callum, it's like, I want to see him more, he wants to see me more. Like, we do get to see each other a lot, considering we don't even live in the same country, but I do want to see him more. Like, I do want to be able to see my boyfriend more than every 2 weeks or whenever it is. So it didn't feel crazy to be moving in with someone or renting a place with someone who I've not been with that long, because we're long distance. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
put it this way, if he lived in Scotland, I would not after 6 months be like, let's rent a place together. But because of our situation, it just made a lot more sense. And to be honest, no one was judging. Like, I thought my family would be like, you're crazy, you have lost your mind. But no one was judging, and honestly, everyone was for it. Like, even Nadine was for it. As much as she was really sad about it, she was like, I think this would be amazing for you. Like, and this is another thing, sorry, I'm rambling so much. I don't think I've come up for air once this whole time. But I also got so in my head where, like, you know, everyone says, like, you need to move away at some point, you need to go travelling, you need to experience something different in your 20s. So I started to think, this must be a sign. This must be a sign from above telling me that you need to go and do something different for a while. Like, I knew I wasn't going to move to Manchester permanently. Like, I was thinking maybe like a year. So I was like, this must be my sign to go do this. So I got so convinced in my head that I had to do this. So we did go through with it. Like, I literally did pay a deposit on a flat, and we were due to move at the end of April, I think. And then I just woke up one morning, and I swear, now I might lose you here, but I swear to God, I have a sixth sense. I kid you not, I have a sixth sense. It's the freakiest thing ever. I always know. Like, I only have it with, like, bad things though. Like, I know if something bad is happening, or if something is coming, or my sixth sense will just guide me in the right direction with just big decisions, like big life decisions. So I woke up this one morning, and my gut just told me, now my gut fails me a lot. My gut fails me horrifically. I have IBS, I got salmonella, which I don't know if I'll ever recover from, so it fails me a lot. But in the decision making, my gut truly is my second brain. So I woke up this one morning, and I was like, I don't think I have to move to Manchester. Like, something just told me I wasn't to move to Manchester, and it wasn't over anything bad or anything big and serious and scary or anything like that. It just was like, I don't actually think this is right for me. So that all unfolded. Pretty awkward and embarrassing to go and tell everyone that, in fact, I'm not going anywhere. But now that time has passed, me and Callum both agreed that it was absolutely the right decision for me to stay where I am and for him to stay where he is. Like, I think I also wasn't prepared to give up my flat or rent it out. So I would have been paying my mortgage and rent. So that's such financial stress. Callum would have had to move out of his flat into a new flat. We would have needed furniture. Like, I'm so fussy with, you know, how things look. So I would have been wanting, like, a green couch and all this blah 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 blah. Like, I wouldn't have took the flat furnished like how it's meant to be. I think it just would have been a big hoo-ha for what it's worth. I can honestly say that I don't think either of us feel like we're missing out, and that's what, like, I was really scared of. I was like, oh my God, like, when I decided I don't think I should move, I was like, I hope I'm not, like, making a mistake here. But I think confidently me and Cam can both say, like, we did not make a mistake. I also think I needed to get that far with it to realise that I don't actually want to move. Like, I think I always would have been like, should I, shouldn't have, until I got to that point where it was, like, really close to going, and then I decided actually I don't want to do that. I also feel like it's really just, like, took the pressure off of mine and Cam's relationship. Like, we were about to move in together, and we've not even been together a year yet, so, like, that's adding a whole new layer of pressure to a relationship that isn't even that far in yet to be adding pressure onto. I'm like, why don't we just strip it back and enjoy being in this early stage of our relationship again? Like, if we're going to be together forever, which we're planning on being, then we've got our whole lives to live together. So that was that. I nearly moved to Manchester. Now I can't even imagine, like, that happening. Like, I do love Glasgow, and I feel like it's even more so reminded me that I love my home so much. Like, I love Glasgow. Like, yeah, it rains all the time and it's great, and don't get me wrong, Manchester is better in a sense. Like, it's better in a sense, there's more to do, it's bigger, it's way more up and coming than Glasgow is. Like, I love going there so much. But right now I'm living my Hannah Montana and Miley Stewart life. I have the best of both worlds. So I think I've reached the conclusion that I don't need to give either of those up. I'm in a really fortunate position with being self-employed that I can go whenever I want, I can stay whenever I want. It's just easy the way it is, and like, don't fix what's not broken. Do I really look forward to the day me and Cal live together and we're not long distance? I do. I really, really, really do. But I don't think we need to rush that too much. And yeah, I'm happy to continue living my 50-50 life in Glasgow and Manchester. Wow. Anyway, I have been rambling on for what feels like a lifetime. I'm going to go home. I need to decide what I'm having for dinner, and I can't wait to watch Love Island. I'm going to go home, put a hair mask in, I think, and sort whatever I'm doing for dinner. I also need to try on some outfits. I'm literally going to New York on Wednesday. This whole time I thought it was Thursday. Things have just been really chaotic recently. Like, my schedule's just been a wee bit all over the place, which I love so much, but can't really keep up. I'm not doing very good at keeping up. I get a bit confused, so I do. So I'm going to New York on Wednesday, which is in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, 3 days. Yeah, so I'm going to go home and do a bit of packing for that. So the video after this video will be the New York vlog. How exciting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Chicken Nuggets. Please let me know if there's any videos you'd like to see down in the comments below. I want to be good at doing my weekly YouTube videos. I feel like they keep me sane, so I do. So please let me know if there's anything you want to see. And as always, thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world. And yeah, let's just see where life takes us. Love you.